on the road to what was once the Syrian home of Riad al-Asaad, who chose to leave the war zone and take his command to Turkey. The aftermath of the latest bombing isn't hard to find, and it's the civilians who are bearing the brunt of the air attacks and persistent shelling. On the approach to the village of Ibdeta, al-Assad's old house has been taken over by 2 refugees. The rebels say it's now 1 year, 2 months since Riad al-Asaad lived here with his family. Local people describe him as a kind, friendly man. But most of the rebels we've spoken to agree with that, but say he's out of his depth in his leadership role. A few kilometres away, an FSA brigade are dispatching another casualty to hospital. The fighters admit their morale has been weakened by the continual debate about disunity. This is the brigade's leader, a former activist. His deputy, Arafat Hamoud, defected from his colonel's post to work for al-Asaad in Turkey for 8 months before leaving disillusioned. And he says fighters and commanders are furious about al-Assad's YouTube video announcing the FSA command would set up in Syria. Arafat is dismissing this as a media stunt filmed on a day trip over the Syrian border.
We wish he could be a leader who commands the military movement on the ground under one flag, getting our work organized so we can get a good image to the people out of Syria. But until now, the leadership of Riad al-Assad has been a fake one, not active, only this announcement on the media.
Added to all the criticism is the formation of the Joint Command of the Military Councils that says it can call on support from 80% of Syrian rebels. From his present base within a refugee camp in Turkey, Riad al-Assad had this response.
Other councils formed before were a big failure and they suffered big losses. If this is changing for the better and if they are successful, then we have no problem supporting them, but they shouldn't exclude anyone. There are no big differences between revolutionaries, but there are some seeking power and trying to create differences.
He went on to say that one of his key brigades fighting in Aleppo may decide the way forward. Here, a new brigade, unheard of until now, is being sworn in. It's now in battle to the west of Aleppo, and its commanders told us they're shopping around to find the most effective leadership. What's at the centre of the undoing of the FSA leadership is its inability to supply enough guns and ammunition to its fighters. Most of them are agreed not necessarily to disband the FSA, but for Riad al-Assad to stand down as their leader.